Hi friends, it's Thursday, August 14th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here. We're in Martinsburg, West Virginia. The Eastern Regional Jail of West Virginia is here. It's right over there. You can maybe see it in the background. And we have been sent here to work with the energy of this facility as our focus as we work with the overall correctional system of North America. So the first assignment is to see how it feels, just being here, being right here. How does the energy of this facility feel? Not too bad. On Google, they have a way you can post reviews of different places, and you can literally post a review of jails. So most jails don't have reviews on them, but there was this one jail, one correctional facility that had a review, and the guy said, jail is jail.
He said it's jail and jail is jail.
I've been in better. But he was not talking about this facility. So it's jail and jail is jail. But that having been said, the energy is not all that bad. We've certainly seen a lot worse.
I've seen high schools with worse energy than this.
Interesting. Yes, I have too. So, nonetheless, we see our job ticket posted on the job board, and we're going to do whatever it is that's on our job ticket with the intention of healing the correctional system of North America and triggering the awakening whose time has come. Now we begin.
Oh, the first thing feels like it feels like spikes in the front of the energy body. It looks kind of like a backwards porcupine, like the spikes are on the front side.
Yeah.
The underside.
Yeah.
And the spikes seem like an interesting combination of self-created and inflicted by others.
Spears.
Right.
Self-created. The spears we send ourselves and those that others have sent to us.
Right.
Guess we'll just start to draw them in, right?
Feels like some of them are old.
Really old.
Like going all the way back to when the penal colony ships were coming over.
Right. So other countries' feelings about America.
That have become America's feelings about America.
Interesting.
It feels like coming in from the original sting came in from the outside and then became part of the definition. And it feels like similar to the other day when they were talking about prisoners and how they come in thinking, I'm not hopeless, and then they hit some bumps and they go, well, maybe I am hopeless. And it feels similar to that, but on a much bigger scale. Like it looks like for America, I keep seeing those penal colony boats.
Right.
And it just became like, well, we are who they say we are. We are, what it looks like is just no good. No good. And I'm seeing trucks and crushing beer bottles and throwing them on the side of the road.
Yes. Littering.
And this is America, and
we don't have to
play by your rules when they're not.
They're just good rules for life.
Right. Just good rules for life.
Yes. How to treat each other with civility and respect.
Right, and it's that kind of thing of like, you can't tell me what to do, Mom and Dad. You can't tell me what to do, Great Britain.
Right.
I'm gonna not have tea. I'm gonna throw the tea in the water.
Yes. That'll make it better.
We're gonna have no manners. We're gonna pride ourselves in being impulsive.
It's not impulsive, it's reactive.
Yeah.
And obstructionist or
right.
Oppositional, defiant. We'll pride ourselves on our defiance.
Right.
Well then, how's that working? And who among us doesn't have this me too, me too, me too, me too?
No, me too, me too.
We as a biosphere have oppositional defiant disorder, not wanting to live our soul plans, right?
Right.
Not wanting to do what is clearly for us to do. It's right in front of us. Right in front of us for each of us what is for us to do, and we try to do anything but that, everything but that.
Oh, that's totally true.
Rather than saying, looks like this is for me to do. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
Right.
This isn't a problem that's going to go away in a week or a month or a year, or maybe not in this lifetime, but we can start somewhere. We can do something to make a difference. We can. Don't worry about what we can't do, but do something. Do what we can do. So now we're here with this one particular facility, and it's a reasonably good facility.
Right, with people who want to make a difference.
They're trying really hard. And it's like, if we're not going to find a better doorway into the system,
right.
in terms of, quote, jail done right, unquote.
Right.
Jail done right. Here we are. The Eastern Regional Jail in West Virginia is jail done right. It's still jail. Jail is jail. But it's jail done right.
It's closer to the soul of the correctional system than the others we've seen.
This is true.
Much closer.
Much closer.
The soul
Much
feels
closer.
a lot better about this one.
The soul is walking around the edges of this one, at least.
Yeah, it's willing to come closer.
Yes. It's not like that horrendous compound in Baltimore where the soul was
soul did not want to go near that.
Far away. But here the soul is walking around the edges, trying to make a difference in people's lives, trying to turn these people around. It has the tone of, Jimmy, you need to straighten out your life.
Right. All right now, Jimmy. You know what you did was wrong.
That's right.
We're not going to do it again.
That's right.
You're going to pull yourself together, going to get you a haircut, going to get you a job.
Yeah, that's the tone.
It feels like we can make room for the soul in this facility.
Yeah.
Like the soul just needs an in.
Yeah. It does.
And it feels like there's trauma to be released.
Lots of it.
And when we get rid of the trauma, and it feels like it's connected to the America image that we were talking about, of like, well, I was just doing the America thing, and that got me in jail. I was just being
rebellious and defiant. And isn't that what our country was based on?
And it's what our country celebrates. There's a reason James Dean is on posters, and
right. It's like with one hand we say, to be cool you must be defiant.
Right.
Oh, but now we'll take you to jail because you were too cool. You crossed the line.
Right.
And so maybe removing this idea of defiance as a cool thing.
Right.
That's it. Removing this idea of defiance as a cool thing.
Leaving room so that cool can be just doing what needs to be done in a situation.
Right.
Which is almost very rarely defiant.
We went to elementary school in Germany, and there's none of that defiance being cool. It doesn't exist in that culture. That's not part of the culture. And it was cool if the teacher dropped her eraser or chalk to jump up and get the eraser and chalk and give it to the teacher. It was cool to be helpful. And then we came to Florida. And it was not cool to be helpful.
No.
It was cool to be defiant.
Yeah.
It was a major culture shock. How are we as a biosphere suffering from this idea that defiance is cool? This is quite common, right?
Right, our planet is destroyed.
Our planet is we are destroying our planet.
We are destroying our planet.
As a result of this crazy, crazy defiant attitude of, you can't tell me what to do, God. If I want to drill in the Arctic, by God, I can drill in the Arctic.
And nobody's gonna stop me.
And if I want to dump my trash in the Pacific, I can dump my trash in the Pacific.
Nobody's gonna stop me.
I can bury radioactive waste in a place where it'll never go away.
No consequences at all.
So we can do this. Now, how are we exactly like this? We have to find it in ourselves. For us as a culture, for North America, for us as a culture, just clearing away this idea, taking out the traumas of this idea that defiance is cool. I think this is what you mean by some high schools have worse energy, more defiant energy. Ooh, there we go. And so now, not just for the correctional systems, but for all the institutions of America, educational system, healthcare system, whoo, there's a lot of it in the healthcare system, isn't there? Woo, wow.
You know, even in some of the quote-unquote do-gooder groups, there's this sense of going against the law is cooler when we're doing good.
This is true. This is true.
Getting yourself thrown in jail almost never makes it
better.
A more effective process.
It does not.
Even
we have to not let that risk stop us.
Right.
But when the policeman comes up and says, you can't film here, we say,
okay,
I'm sorry, thank you. And we move on.
Where can we film?
Where can we film?
We're going to get this film made. Where can we go to do that?
What's the closest place? Can't do that here? Okay. Where's closest place?
Because if we get thrown in jail, that film never gets made.
Right.
Feels, I'm seeing again a high school. Opposite side of it not being cool to help is the people who have the urge to help, who feel the pull to help.
And don't do it.
Out
of cowardice.
Yeah.
Fundamentally,
out of cowardice. There are a lot of different names that can be put over it, but at the end of the day, it's cowardice.
Okay. And so, who among us hasn't done that? Boy, oh
Me
boy.
too.
This is a question of not letting fear call the shots. Hello, my old friend Fear. Thank you for being such a loyal companion. Watch me do it anyway. It's not a question of being fearless. If we wait for that, we'll wait for our entire life.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's a question of not letting fear call the shots. Fear, you don't get to say for me. You don't get to say, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, the people in positions of authority.
Right. Who can see it all playing out.
And they just don't do what it takes out of laziness.
Right, because
really.
There are teachers.
Laziness.
Right, there are teachers in high school who could take people aside and say, "Listen, I get it that you think what you're doing is cool. There's no good way this is going to end." Or on the flip side, could take people aside and say, "I see that you want to help and make a difference, and you're scared to do that.
You can do
that."
Okay, so a lack of willingness, right? That's what we're talking about
That's
here,
what we're
right?
talking about, a lack
We've
of
been
willingness.
talking about a lack of courage just a moment ago, and now we're talking about a lack of willingness.
Exactly.
Okay. So who among us hasn't had moments of,
me
I want
too.
to take the easy way?
Oh, me too.
Me too.
Oh, it's interesting. This is the week of seeing how other American institutions are like prison.
Yes.
Seeing how the military is like prison, seeing how educational system is like prison. We are all a part of this.
We're all a part of this. Our American culture, the fabric of culture that runs through the correctional system, runs through the rest of our institutions as well. How many of us let fear call the shots? How many of us look for the easy way out? How many of us do these things? How many of us look the other way?
All right, all the while saying we did everything we could. We didn't let fear call the shots.
That's just talk. Talk
right.
is really,
talk
really,
is really cheap. And that's not just talk, that's a lie.
That's a lie. That's a
we
lie.
We can call that talk, but that's lying.
That's lying.
We didn't do everything we could.
We can do more.
We
can, all of us, ask ourselves, what more can I do? What more can I do right now, today? What more can I do this week, right now? What more can I do right now, this month? What more can I do right now, this year, right now?
And nothing is too small.
Nothing is too small, and nothing's too big. And nothing's too big. Start somewhere. We're not going to solve these problems in a moment. These are big problems, but we can start somewhere and do something. Each of us can. You can. You can. Do something. You can. It's cleaning away the lies we tell ourselves and we tell others. It begins with truth. If we aren't willing to be honest about what's really going on inside of ourselves and inside of our society, then
Right.
it can't change. We have to be honest about what's going on
Right.
so that we can change it. We have to come to terms with what's really going on to be empowered to change it. When we're in denial, nothing is going to change. But it feels like there's a fundamental dishonesty not yet addressed, the fundamental lie. What is the fundamental lie?
Fundamental lie is I want to do it.
Right. That's right. The fundamental lie is, oh, I want to live my soul plan. But the truth is, there's a big attitude of, I don't want to do it. Oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. You can't make me. It's true that they can't, quote, make us live our soul plan, but does every action have a consequence?
Yeah.
Does every inaction have a consequence?
Yeah.
Is there a huge consequence to not living our soul plan?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And does that consequence wait till we pass over? Does it start? No. It starts right away. Why do we want to have this argument? It doesn't even... This is an argument where everyone loses. It's a lose proposition. Why don't we just do it? It feels good to do it. It actually feels good to do it. It feels great when we're taking steps toward our soul plan.